Hey everybody, this is Aaron Whitehead. Welcome to Learn to Play the Piano. This is Lesson 6 in a series of short lessons. In this video, we'll learn about intervals. In order to understand where intervals come from, we need to look back at something we learned in a previous lesson. You may remember in our lesson about chords the way we gave a number to each scale degree. We're going to reference back to that chart now to help us understand intervals. In general, intervals are defined as the distance between two notes. So for example, if we have the C scale and C is 1, D is 2, and we would also call the distance between C and D a second. And then likewise from C to E, from 1 to 3 would be called a third. C to F, 1 to 4 would be called a fourth. C to G, 1 to 5 is called a fifth. C to A, 1 to 6 is called a sixth. And C to B, 1 to 7 is called a seventh. And the interval from C to the higher C, 1 to 8, is called an octave. So this gives us an idea of where the numbered names come from, second, third, and so on. They're the distance from the starting note to the given note in a scale. But just like we have major and minor chords, we also have major and minor intervals. So in order to help us understand the difference, we're going to look first at the major interval and then the minor interval. So we said the distance between C and D was a second, but more specifically we would call that a major second. And if we were to go down 1/2 step from the D to the D flat, that would be called a minor second. C to E would be called a major third, and then a 1/2 step down from the E to the E flat, C to E flat would be called a minor third. From C to F we call a fourth, but its more specific name is a perfect fourth. And from C to G we call a fifth, but more specifically it's called a perfect fifth. And a 1/2 step down from that G to the G flat or F sharp is called a tritone. And going on to the sixth, from C to A is a sixth, but it's also called a major sixth. And if you take the A down to the A flat, 1/2 step down, that gives us a minor sixth. And finally, from C to the higher B is a major seventh. And if you take it a 1/2 step down, you get a minor seventh. And where the study of intervals really becomes important is when you begin to apply those to chords. So for example, if we were to want to add a seventh onto a C major chord, we could have either a C major 7 or what's called just a C7. Let's look at the difference. The C major 7 includes the seventh that occurs naturally in the key of C. So for this one, it would be the B natural. So our C major 7 chord would be C, E, G, and B. And when we use the minor seventh on top of the C major chord, we end up with what's commonly called a C7. Notice that the C7 is made up with a note that is not in its key. It does not occur naturally. Instead, it's the 7th scale degree lowered a 1/2 step. And we hope you enjoyed lesson number 6. All this information and more is available in our book, a piano chord book you can actually use, which can be purchased on our website, thepianochordbook.com. We also have an app out for the Droid and for the iPhone. Our iPhone app is available on iTunes under the title Piano Chord Key, and our Droid app can be found in the Droid market under Piano Chord Book. Please check out lesson number 7, where we will discuss augmented and diminished chords. Thanks, God bless, and see you next time.